Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling in silence, wondering why your sleep just disappears? If you're over 65, you're not alone. Millions of older adults across the country quietly wrestle with this exact same pattern, falling asleep just fine, but waking up like clockwork in the early morning hours. But what if I told you, this isn't just getting older? What if your body is trying to send you a message? In today's video, we're diving deep into 5 surprising reasons why so many seniors wake up at 3 a.m., and what those wake-ups may be revealing about your health, your lifestyle, even your emotions. This isn't about blaming yourself or chasing the perfect night of sleep. It's about understanding how your aging body works, learning to work with it, not against it, and reclaiming your peace of mind. So if you're tired of tossing and turning, or you simply want to know what your body might be telling you in those quiet pre-dawn hours, stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might not just sleep better, you'll understand yourself a whole lot more. Point 1. Reduced melatonin. When your body's sleep clock starts to fade, you're not imagining it. Waking up at 3 a.m., night after night, isn't just in your head, and it's not your fault. One of the most common reasons older adults find themselves wide awake in the middle of the night is a natural, age-related decline in melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone your brain produces to help regulate your sleep-wake cycle. Think of it as your body's built-in sleep signal. When you were younger, your brain released melatonin in strong, steady waves, letting you drift off easily and stay asleep until morning. But as you get older, those waves start to fade. By the time you reach your 60s and 70s, your body simply doesn't produce as much melatonin as it used to. That means even if you fall asleep just fine, your brain may not have enough melatonin to keep you asleep. Take Harold, for example. He's 73 and has always been a deep sleeper. But recently, like clockwork, he finds himself waking up around 3:15 a.m., fully alert. Not anxious, just awake. At first, he thought something was wrong with him. But after learning more, he discovered it was just his body's melatonin levels naturally dropping with age. Instead of blaming himself, Harold made small changes. He dimmed the lights in the evening, avoided screens an hour before bed, and started taking a short walk after dinner to help his body settle into its nighttime rhythm. He even began using blackout curtains to block out the streetlight that used to sneak in through the blinds. Within a few weeks, those 3 a.m. wake-ups weren't as frustrating anymore, and sometimes they didn't happen at all. This isn't about fixing something that's broken. It's about understanding your body's quiet changes. Waking up early may not be a sign of poor health. It might just be your brain asking for a little help. And the more gently you respond, the more restful your nights can become. So next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't scold yourself. Instead, ask, what does my body need right now? That one question can lead to better sleep, and a deeper kindness toward yourself. Point 2. Your sleep clock has shifted, and that's not a bad thing. If you've ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling while the rest of the world sleeps, you're not alone, and you're not broken. What you're experiencing might simply be a shift in your body's natural sleep rhythm. Something doctors call advanced sleep phase. It's one of the most common changes that happens as we age. But hardly anyone talks about it. When you were younger, Your internal clock, or circadian rhythm, was likely tuned to a later bedtime and waking up with the sun. But now, your body starts winding down earlier in the evening. And it's ready to wake up earlier too. You might start dozing off during the 10 o'clock news or wake up refreshed well before sunrise. That's not insomnia, it's biology. Take Charles, for example. He's 68 and recently retired. These days, he eats dinner around 5:30 p.m., watches a little TV, and is often asleep by 9. So when he wakes up at 3 a.m., it's not because something is wrong, it's because his body has already gotten its full 6 hours of rest. Once he understood that, he stopped fighting it and started adjusting gently. He began stretching out his evening with a calming book, a soft lamp instead of harsh overhead lights, and even a nightly phone call with his daughter. These small rituals helped shift his bedtime just enough to bring his wake-up time closer to morning. If this sounds familiar, don't rush to medication or assume you're losing your ability to sleep. Instead, look at your daily routine. Are you winding down too early? Are you lacking the social and mental stimulation that used to naturally delay your bedtime? Sometimes the answer isn't about fixing sleep, it's about shifting your day. This gentle change in rhythm doesn't mean you're losing control. It means your body is evolving, just like it's always done. And when you understand that, 3 a.m. becomes less of a frustration, and more of an invitation to listen to what your body is telling you. 3. Your body speaks in the stillness. Are you listening? At 3 a.m., when the world is silent and the lights are low, the body often speaks in ways it doesn't during the day. You might wake up, not from a loud noise or a bad dream, but because of something quieter. An achy hip, a full bladder, a dry mouth, or a twinge in your lower back. These are not just nuisances. They are messages. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to the little things. The joint pain that wasn't there 5 years ago. The need to use the bathroom more frequently. Or that subtle burning in the chest after a late dinner. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs that your body is still doing its job. It's still protecting you, still alerting you, even in the middle of the night. Take Eleanor, a 76-year-old widow who always considered herself a light sleeper. Lately, she's been waking up like clockwork at 3:30 a.m. at first. She thought it was just part of getting older. But after speaking with her doctor, she realized her evening medication was causing dehydration, and her late-night bathroom visits were throwing off her entire sleep cycle. With a few small adjustments, she started sleeping more soundly. Others may experience sleep interruptions due to arthritis, digestive issues, or simply lying in one position too long. And for many men, prostate changes can mean more frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. These aren't failures, they're part of the aging journey. And the more you tune into these patterns, the more empowered you become to address them. The key is not to blame yourself or ignore the wake-ups, but to ask gently, what is my body trying to tell me? Maybe it's asking for a little more movement during the day, a lighter dinner, or a different medication schedule. Maybe it's asking for kindness, understanding, and care. Waking up at 3 a.m. might feel frustrating in the moment, but it can also be a quiet invitation to take better care of yourself. And that kind of self-awareness is one of the greatest gifts of growing older. 4. When your days get quieter, your nights start earlier. After retirement, Life slows down in ways we don't always expect. The busy schedules fade, the early morning alarms stop, and the daily structure we once lived by begins to soften. Many older adults start eating dinner earlier, sometimes around 5 p.m., and spend their evenings in a peaceful, dimly lit home. And while this quiet routine may feel comforting, it can quietly shift the body's internal clock, causing you to fall asleep earlier and wake up hours before dawn. At first, waking up at 3 a.m. might feel like a mystery. You weren't stressed, and your room was calm. But what you may not realize is that your daily habits, what time you eat, how active you are, and even how much light you're exposed to in the evening, send signals to your brain about when it's time to wind down and when it's time to rise. And when those signals shift, your sleep rhythm shifts too. Take Walter, age 74, who retired last year. His evenings became predictable. A quiet dinner at 5, a few hours of TV, and bed by 8:30. At first, it felt good, but then came the 3 a.m. wake-ups every night. Like clockwork, he thought something was wrong with his sleep. But the truth was, his body was simply following the rhythm he had unknowingly created. When days are less active and evenings are dim, the body starts producing melatonin earlier, signaling sleep well before you even notice. And once you're asleep, it runs its full cycle, ready to wake again by early morning. You may not be sleep deprived, you may just be too well rested. Too early. Understanding this can be freeing. It means you're not broken. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is simply adapting. And by making small changes, like adding a late afternoon walk, reading in brighter light, or having a light evening snack, you can shift your rhythm back. The way you shape your day shapes your night. And knowing that gives you the power to sleep better, feel more refreshed, and reclaim those early morning hours for peace, not frustration. 5. When the mind speaks softly at 3 a.m. For many older adults, waking up at 3 a.m. has less to do with the body and more to do with the heart. In the quiet of the night, when the world is still and no one is calling or knocking, the mind begins to stir. Thoughts you've pushed aside during the day come back. Memories drift in. You remember the faces of loved ones long gone, conversations that never finished, or questions that have lived quietly in your heart for years. This kind of early waking isn't always about pain, noise, or a full bladder. Sometimes, it's simply the weight of a full life rising to the surface. As we grow older and life becomes less chaotic, the stillness gives space for reflection. And in that stillness, the soul speaks, softly, but clearly. Take Gloria, 80 and widowed for 5 years. During the day, she keeps busy, gardening, calling her grandkids, watching her favorite shows. But around 3 a.m., she often wakes up. Not feeling afraid, but deeply thoughtful. She finds herself replaying the quiet moments with her husband, wondering if she said enough, did enough, loved him well enough. It's not sadness. Really, it's presence. A part of her heart just wants to be heard. That's not a problem. It's a sign of depth, of a life lived with meaning. And it's a reminder that sleep isn't only about rest, it's about healing. 2. What helped Gloria was a simple shift. She kept a small notebook on her nightstand. When she woke, she'd jot down a thought or a memory. Sometimes just a sentence. And afterward, she'd often fall back asleep, feeling lighter, That act of honoring her emotions helped her reclaim those early hours, not as a burden, but as sacred time. If you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., restless but not sure why, maybe it's not your sleep that needs fixing. Maybe it's your spirit asking to be acknowledged. Give it space. Give it kindness. Because even in the darkness, there is wisdom trying to rise, and peace waiting to follow as we close this journey. Remember this. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't always a problem to solve, it's often a message to receive. Your body isn't betraying you. It's speaking, through shifting hormones, evolving rhythms, subtle aches, and quiet emotions. It's telling the story of a life rich with experience, love, loss, wisdom, and change. And in the stillness of the early morning, when the world is hushed, your soul finally has the space to whisper what it's held onto for years. What if those wake-ups weren't interruptions, but invitations to listen, to reflect, and to care for yourself in a softer, more compassionate way? You've carried so much for so long. Maybe now, at this stage of life, the greatest gift is no longer doing more, but honoring what already lives within you. So instead of fighting your body, work with it. Light a candle, write a thought, breathe deep, smile at the quiet, and know this. Every 3 a.m. wake-up is proof that your story is still unfolding. With care, with awareness, and with grace, you are still growing. Thank you for watching. If this video touched your heart or helped you see your sleep, and yourself, in a new light, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might need it. And in the comments below, let us know, what is your body trying to tell you? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, may your nights be peaceful, and your mornings full of meaning. Crescent Moon.